Hey everybody, Big Chonis here. I wanted to do a review slash tutorial on Duodex. I've been using it for a little over a month now. It is a derivatives exchange where you can leverage trade Bitcoin up to 100x, and it is an opportunity to trade the market on the long side and on the short side, and do it with leverage, which is definitely an interesting dynamic that is available to traders in the crypto space. Now, I said I've been using it for about a month here. What I've discovered is a bunch of things that I really do like about it, and a few things that I'm hoping will get fixed and adjusted with time and when more people are using the platform. Overall, I'm pretty happy with my experience with it. I haven't had any major issues in terms of, times when there's higher volatility and you get those hiccups we've seen in other exchanges. I haven't really been able to see that here. Been pretty happy with my, stop and my market orders, limit orders being executed at the price I have set. And overall, very happy with the withdrawal process and the deposit process, sending Bitcoin and receiving Bitcoin. So I want to go over a couple things about this. So the biggest thing here is for now, it's only available to trade Bitcoin, BTC, USD. I believe in the future there will be other coins available to trade. And over here we have where we can set, are we going to do a limit order, a market order, a stop market, stop limit? We can see there's little bits of information that can explain what the differentials of these are. And as you can see, as we click this, we get a different option and variable of things to choose. So pretty straightforward here. Now you can choose to buy long or you can choose to sell short. And what you're doing here is you're actually not purchasing, spot Bitcoin. It's a contract where you are buying a specific amount of USD, and that translates into the amount of Bitcoin are on the contract. And you can basically close out the contract by doing the opposite. So if you are in a long trade and you want to close out your trade, hopefully in profit, basically you would sell short the same amount of the contract that you're currently in, and vice versa. We can see we have our leverage bar up here that goes from 1x all the way up to 100x. And by clicking the individual things here, that is what will increase your leverage. So I can do trades that basically make a few $100s look like tens of thousands of dollars in a trade. Of course, the catch is liquidation, and basically it will calculate how much BTC you have in your account based on your leverage, and that little variation there is very tight depending upon if you are using a small amount of BTC in a very large leverage position, 25x, 55 50x or 100x. Those liquidations basically hit pretty quick from your entry point. So obviously in all leverage trading, risk management is extremely important. You make sure you keep your trades on a very tight stop. This is what I always talk about in my trading and mentoring. There's no reason to get yourself liquidated on any trade as long as you keep your stops very tight. We can see here we have a few options if we wanted to just do a trade, basically good till cancel. So it's an active trade until it fills or until I cancel it. Immediate or cancel basically is, immediately it will fill, as well as the fill or kill. If it's unable to fill instantly there, then the trade and is basically voided. So you have a few options here. Limit orders basically will allow you to set the price and the quantity of USD you wanted to trade in. And you can go buy long or you can sell short both on that price variance. You can do a market order, which basically you put the price of USD you want to purchase in Bitcoin and just hit buy long or sell short, and this confirmation will come up, basically showing how much you are actually risking and what the mark price currently is, and then what your estimated liquidity price would be. Now, these are confirmations that you can then adjust if you want to basically take your leverage down a little bit or even increase it based on that. And then once you are in a trade, you would then set your stops, either a stop market or a stop limit. Now, this is one aspect where, because there is not a lot of liquidity yet on this particular derivatives exchange, I've had a lot more success using the stop market, which has always filled my stop price at the market price where it gets to around my stop price. The stop limit price has not been as effective, and I believe that's mostly because of there just needs to be a lot more volume on the exchange, and we're just not seeing that yet, as Bitcoin is basically still consolidating around the 7K area at the time I am making this video. Definitely when Bitcoin is a lot more bullish, there's a lot more excitement in the market and a lot more trading activity does follow suit. We can see here are the contract details, the last price, the index price, the mark price. Funding rate is actually very important here. When it's positive, this basically means that if you are entering a long trade, that you're going to pay a little bit of fee to hold that trade, and it basically recalculates every 12 hours to a new rate. So I see that the funding rate is green here, which means longs are paying a little bit more to hold their long position. If this were red, which would mean it would be negative, then it would be cost a little bit more to short the market. Every contract is based on a $1 USD valuation. This is our 24-hour volume, the price increments, and of course your max order size of $10 million if you are a trader baller like that. All your information on active orders will be shown down here. They do 3 times a day. They will send withdrawals. So if you want to withdraw some of your profits, you are more than happy to do so, and those execute 3 times per day. As well, you have the TradingView instruments here that we're so used to. You can do diagonal lines, you can do Fibonacci's, you can basically set a price range, you can set up your long trade and your short trade, defining upon where you want to set your stop loss at. And when you do enter a trade, just do a quick one here. We're kind of let's sell short. Why not? Let's sell short. So I'm going to be in a 100x trade here, and basically it shows me a few things. Now, because we have just entered the trade, we have my entry price, my mark price, my liquidation price, which as you can see is not very far off the mark price. I'm only using a very small amount of actual BTC at an extremely high 100x leverage to enter my trade here. If I wanted to basically set my stop loss there to protect myself from liquidation, I could do that around, let's call it 72.05, and I would want to stop myself out of the full amount there. I will hit buy long because it is the opposite of what my trade is. And there you can see that my stop has popped up here. So as you can see, you really don't need a tremendous amount of BTC to make a trade, dollars turn into thousands of dollars in a particular trade. And as the price action does flow, you can see your rate of return and basically your unrealized profit. As remember, all profit is unrealized until I actually close the trade. I can close the trade with a market order. I can move my stop loss just a little bit lower, chasing that, or I can basically just close it out as it is by using that market order. You have all your account information up here. They're very good with help and support. I've had obviously a few questions about the exchange, and they're very active and quick to respond to my questions and concerns. You can see here, this is the stop that I currently have in. And if I had any other orders that I wanted to execute that were not executed, they would be under the active orders here. So it's a pretty straightforward in terms of how you use it. Of course, as a trader, you do need to find and figure out what your own style is and how you want to trade. I do not recommend diving headfirst into big trades with 100x leverage, with 50x leverage, and make sure you always set your stop loss. That will protect and keep your bankroll alive, because that will allow you to continue trading. And as we see in leverage trading, there are all sorts of big wicks on the upper and lower side. I actually see these as opportunities. Catching a wick on the upside or the downside are always possible and profitable trades if you know what you're doing. And of course, always have your stop loss set. So doing pretty good here in this trade. I am in my BTC short. I'm up 3% on that, and I have my stop loss set to protect me from liquidation. So overall, I'm pretty happy with using Dudex over the past month or so. I do plan to continue to use it, and excited to see what new updates they have in store. If you guys do have any interest in using this exchange, you can see my affiliate link is down the bottom here, duodex.com/bigchonis. Please use that link if you would like to sign up and try this exchange. Hope you learned something today. This is Big Chonis. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.